Hi folks, Draven here. We are back with Syberia 1. See how we get on. Let me just load the game up. Where? Hi Luna. Where were we? 838, 1118. Is that where we stopped? I thought we'd arrived at the next place. Maybe we put that there and put that there. Maybe we need to talk to you to tell him we're ready.
Where are we, Oscar?
At the halls of residence of Barockstadt University.
And do we really have to stop here?
The situation is incompatible with the pursuit of our journey.
What are you waiting for then? Wind them up, find a way. There must be some sort of train winding thing just laying around in this weirdo station.
I have seen nothing that fits that description, Kate Walker.
I guess we'd better find out then.
I do not like this station. The atmospheric humidity is detrimental to my sophisticated wheel workings. I will wait for you inside the train.
So we've got to do all the work. Okay. Right, I apologise in advance if there's any interruptions when I have to leave to deal with anything my cats have dragged in the back door. I've already had 2 mice this morning to deal with, which is why I'm a bit late in starting. Right, what do we need to do?
Oscar, we have a serious problem. How can we carry on our journey if this train doesn't want to budge? What are our options?
Every clock has its key, Kate Walker. Keep looking.
Well, I hope you're right. I'm gonna go see what I can find.
Do we have to ask about the train?
This train might be a wonder of technology, but the engine's limited autonomy is a liability. You got to admit that.
I am afraid I refuse to entertain this consideration, Kate Walker.
So I just giving Luna some treats. Right, hopefully the volume levels are okay. My microphone seems to be picking me up a bit loud. Louder than normal anyway. I don't have it any closer. And I haven't installed any Windows updates. That's really loud. Let me just check my sound settings here. It's going up into the red. It never goes up into the red, and I'm not talking any louder than normal. Yeah, I see something has set it up to 100. It's usually not at 100. Let me drop it down. Hopefully that's better. Not peaking. Yeah, that's better. So something changed that. See these Windows updates? So annoying. Alright. We shall go with that. I still haven't managed to get the Windows mouse pointer to disappear. You can see it's a bit annoying because it covers up the Syberia pointer, so you can't tell really when it changes.
Oscar, see you later, alligator.
In a while, Kate Walker.
See, it's a different icon there. So it's hard to spot that one. I don't know if anybody else has got any suggestions if there's any way we can get rid of the pointer. I can't go full screen, this has to be run in a window unfortunately. Due to its age. So I'm playing in a tiny little window. We're going off. I wonder which way is the best. Okay, we can go up there. we can deal with the birds. Okay, we're gonna have to scare the birds, aren't we? Right, we haven't got anything in our inventory. Can we go this way? No. Got a bridge over to the other side. Got some crates. Nothing visible. We go around these crates, or we could go over the bridge. We'll explore this side first and then see. Let's make sure we're not missing anything we can click on. Lots of birdies in here, eh? Is that different from that way? Can't look at anything here. I wonder if we have a look back around over the other side of the tracks first before we leave here. Oh, we've got another track, have we? There's really not a lot here, is there? Can't look at the tree, the leaf. There's nothing this way. Can we go? We can go over there. Let's go down the middle platform first. We go back on the train. Oh, there's another one of those birds. Oh, it flew off. Oh, we can go in there, can we? We can go further down this way. No, is that just back up the platform? Yeah. Okay, we can't go on the train. Oh, look, there's mammoths. Still can't see anything lying about. some old houses there, derelict, in ruins. Can't look at anything. So what's the point of count? Oh right, we can scroll. Why is she looking over there? No, that's as far as we can go. Is it? Oh no. We can keep going.
That thing looks like the winding machine I used in the Valladolid station. I've got to find a way of getting the train up here.
We'll go up this way. No. Windmill? Looks like there's a house or something there. Quite a mechanical looking gate, doesn't it, to get through? There's train tracks, it must be. I wonder if Streamlabs would muck up if I changed my resolution on the screen down. Didn't? Oh, hold on. Just crashed. Let me get Syberia back up. But it was working, I've got a much bigger screen. Right. Why am I not getting to load? There we go. I'll just quickly talk to Thingy again and we'll get back to where we were.
Where are we, Oscar?
At the halls of residence of Barockstadt University.
We didn't find anything anyway.
Do we really have to stop here?
The situation is incompatible with the pursuit of our journey.
What are you waiting for then? Wind them up, find a way. There must be some sort of train winding thing just laying around in this weirdo station.
I have seen nothing that fits that description, Kate Walker.
I guess we'd better find out then.
I do not like this station. The atmospheric humidity is detrimental to my sophisticated wheel workings. I will wait for you inside the train.
Wimp.
Wimp.
Okay, right, let's
Oscar?
get back to...
See you later, alligator.
In a while, Kate Walker.
In a while, Kate Walker.
Okay, that's much better for me. I can actually see things on the screen. Right, we need to go this way. To get to where we were quicker. It doesn't help with the cursor thing, but it's maybe be a bit easier. I'll have to redo all my icons again. my desktop where I want them. That's where you can set up a virtual desktop, can't you? I should maybe do that next time. I'll play about with that after this stream.
That thing looks like the winding machine I used in the Valladolid station. I've got to find a way of getting the train up here.
Because I'll need this for Syberia 2 anyway, so because it's the same. I need to run it in a window because it's so old. Right, what do we have here? There's the winding mechanism. Okay, we can't look at that any closer. Nothing's flagging up, by the way. Nothing lying about. Can we get over there? It's on the other side of the tracks. No. Okay. We can't go up on here, can we? Can you look at anything? No, again, that's the track there, isn't it? We need back over the bridge down and down the middle platform. To investigate. Presume you can go there.
Kate Walker! Kate Walker! Come over here, please! I have something to say to you!
Could you not have told us while we were in there the first time?
Yes, Oscar, what is it?
A message has arrived for you.
A message?
You have been summoned to see the rectors. They are the highest authority at the university. They want to talk to you.
Talk to me?
Yes, to the person responsible for the train.
So, I'm in charge now, sure, okay. But why would these gentlemen want to see me at all?
They do not say why, just that it's very important.
Okay, we're still going to investigate the gate first. And then we'll go see the rector. Right, can we go down this way? Further? Maybe we can't. But we can't. Okay, never mind. We'll go up and over this bridge. And up, we can go over again, can't we? Mammoths out there again. Right, let's head down this way and see if this takes us to that, the gate again, but on the other side of the tracks. We can go that way. I want to go this way though. Oh, who's this? It's not the other side of the tracks then, is it? Okay, we can talk to him. I can see the mouse pointer a bit more clearer now since it's bigger on my screen.
Hey there! On the boat!
Guten Tag, schöne Mademoiselle.
My husband say, hello, young lady. You want to talk to us?
My name is Kate Walker, and I'm a lawyer. I'm in charge of this train. This situation is really very new to me.
Lawyer, good job. Earn lot of money.
A lot? A lot? No, I wouldn't go that far. But I can't really complain, I guess. There's worse.
Lawyer always ask a lot of money.
Can we change the subject, please? I really don't want to go down this road. Are you from Barrackstadt?
Niet.
So you're like me. Birds just passing through. I'm stuck here because of my train.
Kleine Puskereisen mit uns, no?
What did he say?
Train kaput. No luck for you.
Good morning. How are you today? I haven't had it cut. When did I have it cut? A couple of weeks ago, maybe. I maybe forgot to brush it this morning.
I have a little problem with my train. It's kind of broken. I've absolutely got to get it out of the station. Do you think you could tow it over to the wall with your barge?
Lock closed. Barge blocked.
But if the locks were open, would it be okay to tow my train then?
Porke no? More money for that werk.
Da is possible. My husband say we help you if you give money.
Right. And how much do you want?
Cinquante.
He keeps changing language.
$150.
$150? I don't have that much.
No money, no barge.
Let me offer you $75.
Nay, $125.
Out of the question. $100 and not a dime more.
Correct. You have barge for $100.
Great. Now, don't move. I'll be back as quick as possible with the money.
I'm doing okay. A bit tired because I was up at... What time was I up this morning? Well, half past 11 I was down, and then I found a mouse, so I had to get rid of that mouse, and then 3 o'clock in the morning, Baron dragged in another mouse, so I had to get him to take that out then, so I haven't slept since then. And then he took another mouse in just before I started streaming, so I had to deal with that. Yes, lots of very deaf animals.
Have you gone down to take a look around the station yet? It's amazing. You know, it's full of exotic birds.
Me to my girl? Ja. Ja, met plezier.
We no leave boat. Husband is land sick.
Yeah, I don't, it's just so... It's been
I'll
every
leave you to
day
it.
so far
I
again.
won't disturb you again.
Do svidania.
There's always something he's bringing in. He's definitely the worst of the two of them. Right, so I need to get this lock opened. Yeah, I think we've got a lot of I think they're nesting in the piles of wood that we've been chopping down and stuff, because that's where they tend to be having a look for the mice in. Because they're constantly burrowing, the cats are constantly burrowing in there looking for things. We can go up that way, or we can go in here. But they're certainly good at catching them. So there's no fear of having mice living for very long in the house. I still haven't figured a way of getting the Windows cursor to disappear. I'm having to run this in a window at 640 by 480. So I've actually had to decrease my desktop resolution down to 800 by 600. So it's big enough for me to actually see on the screen. But it's hard to tell when the mouse pointer changes sometimes, because there's little spikes come out of it, like when you need to look at something, and but with the Windows cursor being over the top, it's just slightly awkward. There's somebody standing there. We'll go talk to him first. It's a very good adventure game. I did play it when it first came out back in 2002. And I think this is the area that I remember the most. I didn't remember much from the first chapter. See, I can speak to him, you can just see the cursor changes, but it's got a spike on it going south east. I searched all week for a utility that would
Hello.
Hey, baby, you party?
disable
You're
the
looking mighty
Windows
fine. Love
pointer, but I
those
couldn't
big,
find one.
round eyes.
Just who do you think you are?
Hey, spunky. I like that in a lady. Okay, I'm hooked. Come on, Zol. I'll let you buy me that coffee.
I don't remember ever asking.
Hey, don't play hard to get. I know you like it big time.
Listen, kid. Go back home and play with your toy cars and forget you ever saw me.
I'm going to go back over and look at this thing in the middle. Yeah, lots of concrete. It was a little village we sort of started off in, but we've come on the train now to this university it is. And we can't get our train to go any further at the moment. Let's see, can I go around? I can go around there. There's a bell up there. There's something on here. Oh, there, I can look. See, the pointer's changed, but it's a bit jerky. Why is it so jerky? Right, I can use the wheel. There's an egg there. Do I need to... I probably need to find something. Another egg, maybe. Dexter, hello. Welcome to the channel. How are you today? So yeah, I probably need to find another egg to balance this off.
This thing's jammed.
Yeah, it's jammed because you need to put something in there. So we'll have to remember about that. That's probably everything here. Yeah, looks like it. Okay. Yeah, I started streaming it last Saturday. I'm trying to do all 3 Syberia games before the 4th one comes out later this year. I did play this one and the second one when they first came out back in early 2000s. Did you enjoy the game? big place. Can't look at anything there. A mammoth. University of Barokstadt. But we can go to the left and we can go to the right. And we can look at the mammoth. Did you have to play this on in windowed mode as well, rather than full screen? Can't look at anything there. I thought you might have been able to. We can go up the stair. I think we'll go back down here and have a look around along the corridor. That side's roped off. Okay. May as well have a look in here. Yeah, that's the same problem I'm having. I'm playing in windowed mode as well. I've been trying all week to try and find something that'll disable the mouse pointer, but I can't find anything. Very annoying. And you just can't run the game in full screen mode. It doesn't run on my machine anyway. Yeah, I don't know if I can let's have a quick look. See if I can find something. Yeah. I'll try. That's a bit better than that. You'll see the spike coming out of it. I had thought of that last week, but I thought it was going to be annoying having to change it back and forth all the time. Right, let's see what we can find in here. It's just such an old game, but it still holds up well, the actual gameplay, and the story is good. Right, we can come down here and we can go along here. Natura non factus saltus. I wonder if that means that's Latin, isn't it? So I don't know any Latin. Okay. Oh, we can climb up here, right. The Syberia 4 looks really good. from the little trailers they've released. Oh, right. We have a book. The Illustrated Dictionary of Plants and Mushrooms. That's hard text to read. A mushroom without stem, maybe? They've reached the conclusion that this mushroom contains a special substance that is unique to the mushroom, significantly affects vision and enhances its acuteness enormously. That's really horrible font. Okay, so we're probably going to need that for something. There's a paper, there's a clip there, look. What's that for? Is that just a bookmark? Yeah. Okay, we have a book. No other books to pick up. Wait, we'll go back down. Let's see if there's anything here. Nothing, and nothing on the table. It's handy you can double click to run. Doesn't look as though there's anything else. Yeah, let's go down into the middle and see if we find anything there. Okay, so that's things on natural, and there's things on medicine. Oh, there's three people here. Okay, yeah, I think I picked them both up quite cheap. It needs to run in a window as well, the second one. I was testing it out just to make sure I would be able to stream it.
Excuse me. Can I disturb you a second?
No,
You could be a little bit nicer about it.
keep quiet. In case you haven't noticed, we're somewhere that requires silence and tranquility.
Well, he's not going to help, is he? Can we talk to you? No. Oh, there's something on the table. Pick it up. Armor Zone, Memories of an Expedition. There's another bookmark. Oh, here's these birds, right. That were blocking the way up to the ladder. It's again a horrible font. It's one of the region's most brightly coloured species. The male's plumage is a bright vermilion. Habitat it is reliant on the thick upper foliage of the rainforest to live its lonely existence. Right, they search for Sauvignon grapes. So if we find some grapes, maybe they would move. This is the future. The love of the grape could sadly prove fatal for the species in the medium term. European settlers who have tried to cultivate the grape on the Amazonian alluvial plains have decimated the Amazon red cuckoo population. Today it's very rare to find the forest Sauvignon grape in the wild. Successful cultivation of the plant is the pride of this university. Okay, so there must be that grape there, so we'll have to find some. And we can't talk to you? No, right. Let's head back out and keep exploring the place. Another door. I hear the third Syberia game's not as good as the first two, but we shall see once we get to it. Nice red carpet. Oh. I'm in a court. Almost. Sorry, I didn't mean to steal the grapes that I haven't stolen yet.
Good day to you, gentlemen.
Tell me, young lady, to what do we owe this pleasure?
Please do be brief. We do not have very much time on our hands.
As rectors of this university, we have serious matters to attend to, and our time is precious.
I have heard you wish to meet the owner of the train that is currently in your station. May I know the reason for your summons?
We are surprised that your train has not yet left, miss. The situation is most regrettable.
The rules do clearly state that trains are meant to come and go and not remain stationary at a platform.
Trains should first stop, then subsequently leave. That is the rule.
We agree then, dear colleagues, that what we're dealing with is deviant behavior.
This matter really is cause for concern.
It's a clockwork train, you see? So it needs winding up again. Unfortunately, there is no equipment in the station to do this.
A clockwork train? That's strange.
How very quaint. You mean it's some sort of mechanical toy?
You are causing a hindrance to us, miss.
I am very hopeful that I will find what I need along the wall.
The wall?
The wall.
Miss, that really is not a suitable place for you to go.
Especially for a young lady.
You see, miss, we freely admit that every day we praise the existence of that particular edifice. We owe the integrity of our dear university and the fine education it provides to the wall.
It protects us from harm and invasion from the unknown.
May God protect us from what is beyond those ramparts, miss. Please believe me.
I don't have any choice. I must continue my journey.
Such a decision is a correct one since it's in line with regulations.
Thus, your train will indeed be able to leave.
And consequently cease to obstruct our station.
Okay. Let's ask about the Sauvignon.
You wouldn't know if there is any Forest Sauvignon here in Barrackstadt, would you?
Absolutely.
When he says absolutely, he means, of course, absolutely none.
Why?
What we mean, of course, is that we are absolutely positive there is no Forest Sauvignon here in Barrackstadt.
Really? Are you sure? Because I read in a book that Barrackstadt possesses a number of plants. I wouldn't mind getting a hold of some if possible.
Out of the question, miss.
The assistant rector means to say that our priority is for you to remove your train from our station. Your research will have to wait until your next stop.
Yes, that's right. Your train must leave the station immediately, so please refrain from wasting our time in needless visitations.
Don't forget the regulations, miss. Don't forget them. Trains should first stop, then subsequently leave. And quickly!
But it's called a station. Things stay stationary at a station.
That idea of the station aviary is really very original.
It's the pride of our university. One of the specialties taught here is zoology, you see, and more particularly, ornithology. Proper study and instruction should not be limited to books. Observation of living matter is indissociable from theoretical questions.
It contains some very rare specimens that have been brought back from far away, exotic countries, especially for our university. by the world's most intrepid explorers.
Do you remember Alexander Valenbois and his peculiar bird?
Absolutely. His gift produced some very embarrassing long-term consequences.
Embarrassing.
A poison chalice, indeed. It must be said, the situation could have been much worse, however.
Oh, yes, it could have been terribly problematic.
Some sailors have agreed to tow the train, but I don't have enough money to pay them. I was wondering if you could help me out. For a while. I could work for the money.
Please wait, miss. We have certain confibulations to attend to.
They like using big words, don't
That
they?
is right. We must confibulate between ourselves. A collegiate decision must be taken.
I hope that we are not indisposing you in any way.
Why not?
If it helps us get rid of that train.
My word, that is a fine idea.
What do you have in mind, gentlemen?
When you arrived here, you must have noticed a splendid bandstand which
That's
honors
where we
the
need
main
the
university
other egg.
courtyard.
A unique piece of mechanical craftsmanship which no longer works, alas.
Why, yes, we have very moving memories of its melodies. We're prepared to offer you a financial reward if you can set it working again.
With pleasure. What do I have to do?
Unfortunately, my dear, time and rust have taken their toll on this university, and our automatons no longer have a spring in their step. You are going to have to be resourceful.
To tell you the truth, there are a number of complex mechanisms here in Barakstadt, and it would appear that we have unfortunately lost their operating instructions.
They're not very well
Your
organized here, are
train,
they?
however, is an extremely ingenious invention, so you should be no stranger to complex mechanisms, should you? We are therefore counting on your ingenuity, miss.
I hope that I can show myself worthy of your faith in me, gentlemen.
Well, my dear colleagues, one more university matter nicely tied up.
Okay. Should we ask about Hans?
Does the name Hans Vorarlberg mean anything to you by chance?
Ah, one of the brightest, most idealistic intellects to have graced our university. Hans Vorarlberg. I remember speaking to him once. I was still a student at the time. He just stared at me, lost in thought for a while. He scarcely ever said a word. But how can one forget him?
Idealistic? I'll grant you that, but bright? Oh, don't go too far. He was completely incapable of passing any exams.
Doesn't mean somebody's
All
not
he ever
bright.
did was to sit in on lessons, and not many of them either. Paleontology, mainly. He had an unhealthy passion for mammoths, which matched the state of his intellect perfectly. That is to say, prehistoric.
Prehistoric? How dare you? A little far-fetched, maybe. But he did have flashes of intellectual brilliance, comprehensible only to high-minded scholars who hold no score by appearances. My dear colleague, your hasty conclusions are somewhat cavalier.
My assessment is wholly accurate. The boy was a little odd. You must concur if my father, who was rector of the university at the time, had not shown great indulgence towards him. Hans Vorarlberg would have never attended this establishment.
What about the bandstand, then? Is that the work of a deranged mind? Even after all these years, you are still jealous of it.
So Hans
My
made
dear
it.
colleagues, I beseech you, let's show some decorum. We have a visitor. What do you want with Hans Vorarlberg, miss? Are you a member of his family?
No, not at all. I'm looking for him to clear up an inheritance matter. Is he still here?
What? Here? At the university? No, not at all. He left a long time ago. Yes, a very long time ago. The very year I was nominated to this position, in fact. Almost 50 years ago already.
The poor soul moved on once he learned all he needed to know about mammoths.
Ah, this establishment was never quite the same after his departure, it must be said.
You mean to say it was never as bad?
Some people are just not good
All
at
that
passing exams,
eyeball
but are
brought
very
to this
intelligent.
university was his misplaced fantasies.
Gentlemen, gentlemen, let's try to retain the calm and level-headedness that befits our position.
Right,
Can you possibly help me out here?
Miss, your insistence is almost verging on indecency.
We cannot constantly be at your disposal. We have many other requests to attend to.
If you don't mind, could you not disturb us all the time? Thank you.
Could I possibly leave the train in the station for one more day?
Out of the question. Trains should first stop, then subsequently leave. That is the rule.
it's a silly
Perform the
rule.
task we agreed on, quickly, and we will pay you on completion.
A deal is a deal.
Okay, where are we going to get this
Here
egg
we
from?
are, busy chatting, and look at the clock. It's tea time.
Already? My word, doesn't time fly by?
Thank you for a charming visit, miss.
And thank you, gentlemen.
That's our neighbour's cat Rory trying to get in our cat flop. Hi Luna. What did you find in there? Oh, it's Baron. Baron! Oh, there's nothing in there. No more mice being dragged in, please. What are you trying to reach? Let me just go check something. I think he's maybe taking something else in. Didn't appear to be anything there, he just obviously thought there was something there. That's where one of the mice was this morning. What are you doing? Baron. Will you stop knocking things over? Okay, let's head through here. Right, so we need to find an egg, I reckon. Or something as heavy as an egg. God, why does it go so jerky now and again? My machine's not doing anything. Let me close a few things down. Right, we've been in there, that was the library. I think we can go upstairs here. Is this like a lecture theatre or something? Hi, we already put that mouse out that you had there earlier. Yeah, it's a lecture theatre. Can we talk to you? I was going to take it out. No, okay. Alright. Is that a projector? There's a projector there. Can we not put this projector on? No?
No point. It's locked.
I'm surprised we can't use that projectile. There was definitely nothing down here. Maybe that's for later then. Go along the east wing of the building and see what we can find. I'll go this way. No. He's still sniffing about. He's dragged in 2 mice so far this morning. It's just getting ridiculous. How much stuff he drags in. Right, we can talk to you. That's a mammoth again.
Excuse me. Sir? Please, just a moment.
Yes, what is it? I'm not deaf, you know.
I am sorry to disturb you in your work, sir, but...
This young Mammothus primigenius is barely 40,000 years old. Fantastic, wouldn't you say, miss?
Yes. Probably.
What do you mean, probably?
I don't know.
You don't know? Oh, you don't know, I see. What can I do for you, my dear child?
What about these Sauvignons?
If I were to say Forest Sauvignon to you, what would you say?
Oh, let's see. Sauvignon. Sauvignon? I would say it's some kind of tropical shrub, don't you think?
We are talking about the same plant, then. It is a very rare shrub with small, juicy fruits. I found a book about the Amazon, and it says that there are even Sauvignon plants growing right here in Barrickstadt. You wouldn't know where, would you?
Amazon Sauvignon plants here? No. No, I don't think there are any. Hardly implausible, but you should ask the station master. He is keeper of the greenhouse at our university.
We haven't met him, have we?
He could tell you more than me.
Oh, thanks very much.
So where's he, though?
My train stopped in a peculiar aviary. It's very odd. A lot of bird species seem to seek harbor there.
Ornithology is far from being my favorite subject, but I must concede that the station is the pride of the university. It was initially intended for teaching purposes, but then birds started arriving from all around the world. It seems that there are still rare species breeding there and flourishing.
Are there? Can you give me an example?
I have been told about a kind of bird with peculiar habits. Let's see now, the Amazon cuckoo, that's right. But, oh, I'm so foolish, I can't remember what was so special about it. Just that its behavior is very peculiar.
The Amazon? Where's the Amazon? What is the Amazon?
I'm sorry, my dear, but one cannot learn everything in a lifetime. Specialization is
Did
the
we
key
read
to
stuff
real
about the
knowledge.
Amazon in
Why
that
don't you
book?
pay a visit to our library?
I've been there.
Thank you very much.
Hans?
To tell you the truth, I'm looking for Mr. Hans Vorarlberg. He's the sole heir of a very unusual factory. My company is in charge of negotiations for the takeover of this factory. At last word, he was living in Syberia. So, as soon as my train is ready, I'll be continuing my journey eastwards.
Syberia. Ah, Syberia. But what was it you said again?
Said what?
You mentioned a name. The person you are looking for.
Vorarlberg. Hans Vorarlberg. Do you know him?
Hans Vorarlberg. How could I forget him? Such an extraordinary fellow. So inventive. We shared a passion for mammoths, you know, and we bonded over this passion. Without it, I confess, I would have had little to do with an odd, ageless retard like Hans.
Retard.
At the time, we were both students. Well, sort of. Put it this way. Hans had special permission to attend paleontology lectures. You see, he didn't really have the necessary qualifications. In exchange, Hans did a few odd jobs around the university.
Your Hans Vorarlberg sounds uncannily like the one I'm looking for.
I'm not sure, my dear. Hans was above all questions of money and business. Just to imagine him running a factory, perish the thought.
Can you tell me a little bit more about him?
He was always a mystery to me. He never said very much, and never quite seemed to grasp what you said to him.
Well, he wasn't interested.
He expressed himself instead through his incredible mechanical contraptions. His inventions, I admit, have been much appreciated by the university. The few times we really did talk, it was about his strange interest for mammoths and a doll. Some sort of doll that obsessed him.
A doll, you
So I
say?
got the mammoth doll.
Yes, he kept talking about it. One day he described it to me. A sort of children's toy. A miniature mammoth mounted by a mount. It appears he found it in a cave not far from his home. The event all sounds very dramatic. His account was slightly